Rizal's journey in Hong Kong as ophthalmic surgeon began in 1891 to 1892. After the publication of the El Filibusterismo, Rizal left Europe and went to Hong Kong. Rizal left Europe for some reason. First, his life was unbearable in Europe because of his political differences with Marcelo Pilar and other Filipinos in Spain. Second, he wanted to be near to his idolized Philippines and family before sailing to Hong Kong. Rizal left Ghent for Paris, where he stayed for a few days to say goodbye to Lunas, Pardo de Taveras, Venturas, and other friends. And then he proceeded to Marseilles via train. On October 18, 1891, he boarded the steamer Melbourne that is bounded for Hong Kong. Inside the steamer, there were over 80 first-class passengers, mostly Europeans. Rizal was the only Asian among them. And during his trip, he brought with him a letter of recommendation by Juan Luna for Manuel Camus, a compatriot living in Singapore. For Rizal, his trip was heavenly, wherein there is a magnificent weather, calm seas, blue skies, and fresh and invigorating air. During the trip, he amazed his fellow passenger because of his knowledge of many languages and his skills in sketching. Rizal befriended many missionaries, such as Italian Franciscan, French Jesuit, Messenger Voluntary, whom he described as fine fellow. Also, he made a Father Damaso without pride and malice. On the trip, Rizal met German ladies. While Rizal having his dinner alone, he heard the German ladies making gossips toward him. But then, afterwards, he got their respect and admiration because of his gentlemanliness. On November 20, 1891, Rizal arrived in Hong Kong. During his arrival, Rizal was welcomed by the Filipino resident, especially his old friend, Jose Maria Basta. And then Rizal established his residence at number 5 D. Aguilar Street, number 2 Rignasilla Terrace, and also it is where he opened his medical clinic. On December 1, 1891, Rizal wrote to his parents asking permission to return home. On the same date, Hidalgo, his brother-in-law, sent him a letter relating to the sad news of the deportation of the 25 persons from Calamba, including his father, Neneng, Sisa, Lucia, Pasiano, and the rest of his family members. Hidalgo's letter clearly revealed the despair and sorrow of Rizal's family. Rizal was being reunited with his family in Hong Kong. Rizal was gladdened by the arrival of his father, his brother, and Silvestre Olbano, which is his brother-in-law, in Hong Kong. Not long afterwards, his mother and sisters, Lucia, Josefa, and Trinidad also arrived. Celebrating Christmas in Hong Kong was one of the happiest Yuletide celebrations in Rizal's life, for he and his family are being united in one celebration. On January 31, 1891, Rizal wrote to Blumentritt. According to Rizal, he and his family are living together in peace and far from persecutions that they suffered in the Philippines. They are much pleased with the English government. While Rizal is in Hong Kong, he practiced medicine in order to earn living for his family. Dr. P. Marquez, a friend and admirer of Rizal, turned over to him many of his patients with eye diseases. Truly, Dr. Lorenzo P. Marquez helped Rizal build a wide clientele. Soon after, Dr. Jose Rizal became successful and well-known ophthalmic practitioner in Hong Kong. He had many patients, including British, Chinese, Portuguese, and Americans. One of the benefits of Dr. Jose Rizal's profession was he successfully operated his mother's left eye. After the operations, Rizal's mother can now able to read and write again. Dr. Jose Rizal became a great ophthalmic surgeon. He had all the qualities that would make an ideal ophthalmic surgeon. On January 31, 1892, Rizal wrote to Blumentritt, and this is what his writing says: "Here I practice as a doctor, and I have many patients that are sick of influenza, because there is an epidemic. Through the newspapers, I am informed that this sickness is also causing ravages in Europe. I hope that you and your esteemed family will be spared. In our house, my mother, my brother-in-law, and one of my sisters are sick, but thank God they are out of danger." Friends of Rizal from Europe gave him moral and substantial aid. From Biarritz, Mr. Bousted, Nelly's father, wrote to him on March 21, 1892, praising him for practicing his medical professions. Dr. Ariston Bautista-Lin from Paris sent him a congratulatory letter and a book on diagnostic pathology by Dr. H. Virchow, and another book entitled Trait Diagnostic by Miss Nichow. And also Don Antonio Virgil Didios from Paris offered him his services for the purchase of medical books and instruments which might need of Rizal's professions. Last letter of Dr. Jose Rizal in Hong Kong. On June 21, 1892, Rizal wrote another letter to Governor Despujol, in which he informed the Governor-General of his coming to Manila and placed himself under the protection of the Spanish government. On the same date, Rizal and his sister Lucia, widow of Herbosa, left Hong Kong to Manila. They carried a special passport or safe conduct issued by the Spanish Consul General in Hong Kong. Rizal falls into the trap of the Spanish. After Rizal's departure, the Spanish Consul General, who issued the government guarantee of safety, sent a cablegram to Governor Despujol that the victim is in the trap. Facsimile of a part of the Despujol's private inquiry of Executive Secretary dilatory case secretly filed against Rizal. On June 21, 1892, a secret case was filed in Manila against Rizal and his followers for anti-religious and anti-patriotic agitation. The deceitful Despujol ordered his secretary, Louis Dilatory, to find out if Rizal was naturalized as German citizen, as was humored, so that he might take the proper actions against one who had the protection of a strong nation, a landmark of Dr. Jose Rizal's stay in Hong Kong. Dr. Jose Rizal's journey in Hong Kong as ophthalmic surgeon ended when he was fall into the trap of the Spanish.